Okay, so good afternoon to all the participants. Once again, I welcome you all to this post-lunch session of the second day, session 4 of the 6th-day Atal FTP on AI, IoT and data-driven mobility in smart cities. So once again, I welcome all the participants here, colleagues and dear students. Now again we are privileged to have amongst us an eminent speaker, Mr. Amarnath Chowdhury, who is a software engineer SDE 2 from Oracle. Sir, on behalf of this institute, I welcome you, sir, to this session.
Thank you very much.
A very big round of applause from the audience.
Thank you very much for inviting me. Just a small correction, I believe these are taken from LinkedIn, right? Scheduled to be SD3, so the LinkedIn is not updated. Sorry.
So it is SD3, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now before we begin with the felicitation, let me introduce sir. Now Mr. Amarnath Chowdhury is an accomplished software professional with extensive experience in full stack development, enterprise application development, cloud computing, DevOps and Java-based technologies. With a strong academic background and rich industry experience spanning leading multinational organizations, he has established himself as a skilled technology leader specializing in modern software engineering practices. He is currently working as a software engineer, Java developer IC2 at Oracle Health, formerly Cerner Corporation, Kolkata, where he is involved in designing and developing enterprise healthcare software solutions as a full-stack developer and technical lead. Prior to joining Oracle, he served as a software engineer 3 at Cerner Corporation, contributing to the development of advanced healthcare information system. Mr. Chowdhury has also worked with renowned multinational companies including Tata Consultancy Services, Cognizant and Infosys, where he held various technical roles such as full stack developer, microservices developer, DevOps engineer and senior system engineer. During his tenure at TCS, he was actively involved in developing responsive single-page applications using Vue.js, Cursor framework, Java and Node.js for a leading page applications for a leading European insurance client. At Cognizant, he contributed to the development of Spring Boot-based microservices for a global airline client while implementing end-to-end CI/CD pipelines using technologies such as Docker, OpenShift, Jenkins, Nexus, Ansible, Groovy, and cloud computing. His professional journey began with Infosys, where he worked on enterprise Java development, infrastructure automation, and DevOps solutions for one of the world's largest consumer electronics and software organizations. He played a key role in developing AI/ML-based ticket assignment system, REST API integrations, Unix shell scripting, server automation, and infrastructure management using Ansible and other DevOps tools. Before transitioning to the software industry, Mr. Chowdhury served as an assistant professor at Techno India University, where he was actively engaged in teaching and mentoring engineering students. His academic experience combined with his industrial expertise enables him to bridge the gap between theoretical concepts and real-world software engineering practices. He holds a Master of Engineering in Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering with a specialization in computer engineering from Jadavpur University and a Bachelor of Engineering (B.Tech) in Electronics and Communication Engineering from the University of Burdwan. Mr. Chowdhury's technical expertise encompasses Java, Spring Boot, microservices architecture, full stack development, Vue.js, Node.js, RESTful APIs, DevOps, CI/CD pipelines, cloud computing, Docker, Kubernetes, OpenShift, Jenkins, Ansible, Unix shell scripting, infrastructure automation, AI, and enterprise software development. Passionate about emerging technologies, continuous learning, and collaborative innovation, Mr. Chowdhury actively explores advancements in cloud-native applications, DevOps practices, AI-driven software solutions, and modern enterprise architectures. His industry-oriented perspective and practical experience makes him an inspiring mentor and an excellent resource person for faculty members, researchers, and students alike. As a resource person for the Atal FTP Academy sponsored FTP, Mr. Amarnath Chowdhury will share his valuable insights into modern software development methodologies, cloud computing, DevOps, enterprise application development, and emerging technologies, enabling participants to gain practical exposure to contemporary software engineering practices and industry expectations. So this is all about sir. So thank you sir once again for coming and delivering a talk to this session. A very warm welcome sir. Now I would like to felicitate sir. So we would like to felicitate you with a memento, Uttorio, and a badge as a token of appreciation from our side, sir. So I shall request you to kindly come forward for the felicitation. Now, sir will be felicitated by Professor Sugonna Datta Madam, Vice Principal, Diploma Section of SKFGI. He will be assisted by Professor Dr. Subir Kumar Das, sir, of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. Sir, please. Sir and Madam, you are requested to kindly do the honors. So we have Subir sir putting the badge to the resource person. A very big round of applause from the audience. Then we have again Subir sir wrapping the Uttorio around sir, and both Subir sir and Sugonna madam presenting the memento. A very big round of applause from the audience. Thank you Subir sir, thank you Sugonna madam, and thank you sir. Now, today sir will be delivering his presentation on the topic Smart Public Transportation and Mobility as a Service. I am sure you all will be highly benefited from his talk. So now I request sir to start the presentation. So now the floor is yours. Thank you sir.
First of all, thank you very much for inviting me, and thanks for such an elaborate description of my profile. Yeah, although many of those are not updated in LinkedIn. So it's August gathering here. So before starting with this, so my topic is about intelligent system, but I choose to discuss regarding AI in healthcare. This is the domain that I work for. So I work for Oracle. So Oracle has an OCI, okay, and I will go into further depth. We will see that agentic AI related applications I will discuss, and I will discuss on the performance management part as well. So I hope I will be given appropriate time, and I will try to be short, crisp, and try to try to add value to your work, kindly ask questions to me, and it will be great if you have an interactive session out here. So yeah. Okay. So I started with my career with Infi. Then I transitioned with CTS. Then I came to TCS, and following that, in Infi I worked for consumer electronics. Giant, this Apple. So it was a client for them. As I am out of this Infi, so I can discuss about the client. Okay, here I work for airline giant. So the domain was airline. In TCS I was working for insurance. So before transitioning to Oracle, which was formerly Cerner, so here I joined when Oracle was acquiring Cerner. I joined knowingly here because I had to stay back in Kolkata. So I joined here in Cerner in 2022, and I am having around 12 plus years of experience in depth. And while before joining Cerner, I got offer from Manhattan Associates, SAP Labs. I got offer from Morgan Stanley, and I got another offer. I got a couple of companies offer. So different domains they have. They work in supply chain. SAP Labs, enterprise systems. Morgan Stanley, investment banking. So all of this I wanted to go back into healthcare domain actually. So healthcare is I think as you this is a faculty gathering, so you definitely know this is one of the most emerging and one of the hot topic here regarding healthcare. So I wanted to join in this domain. So healthcare system, when it comes into healthcare system, this system, healthcare itself is a very extremely complex system to manage. So healthcare is something, if I say in a nutshell, I work for healthcare like to manage, and like it's not focused on individual things. Like suppose you apply AI to healthcare for imaging maybe, or maybe for different maybe image segmentation as regarding imaging applications or video applications regarding this. But my healthcare work about AI. I currently work in AI systems mostly, and my healthcare work in AI encompasses to large systems, managing large systems. Okay, so what I work for. So bear with me. Actually, I have this presentation for distractions mostly, and I might not follow exactly whatever there is written. I will continue here, and please ask me wherever you have any difficulties or anything to understand. Okay, so when comes healthcare, when comes AI in healthcare, so you have like so you nowadays it's a very I want to be as easy as possible. I think most of the you guys are actually using ChatGPT, right? So ChatGPT is on a back end. In a front load, it is using Azure, and it is also using AWS services in a front load. And in a large scale, in a back end, it's a hyperscaler is using Oracle OCI services. So it's a fair chance whenever you open ChatGPT and you type some questions, eventually you are going to the Oracle system, OCI. Okay. So there is a famous saying generally we say that around 98% of the world traffic, internet traffic, goes to some way or the other way through Oracle systems. So Oracle has a very high penetration of its when it comes to Oracle, I think what comes to your mind? Can you guys tell me? Database, right? Yeah. So yeah, database is one thing. Most of in our college days we have this Oracle database, right? And labs. Yeah, OCI, yeah, we can say Oracle Labs and OCI. And is there anything else?
Virtual box.
Sorry?
Virtual box.
Virtual box, right? Exactly. We have virtual box in OCI. We have, and is there anything you people have come to mind? There is something I think you guys everyday do, and that should come to your mind. It is Java.
Yes.
Java is actually owned by Oracle right now. So when you do coding, when you use your Android mobile, you are using Java, I think. And Java is actually owned by Oracle as of now. All releases are using. Although the open source Java, that is following Java community processes. So that is, they are actually releasing, as of now Java has a latest 26 version. They are releasing the latest version so that all competing companies like Amazon or Microsoft or all others can continue to utilize that. Otherwise, Oracle will impose tariffs on Java, means impose all license fees on Java. So JCP actually, Java community process actually have the responsibility of releasing the OpenJDK versions. Okay. So yeah, when it comes to database, one interesting thing, one fun fact is that Oracle database is started with the CIA project. Like we have CBI, there is in US there is intelligence agency that is CIA. They have Larry Ellison was working in CIA for some intelligence work. They required a database. That time the Oracle database project started, and later on Larry have actually licensed it and actually started working on that. Okay, so now the thing is that.
Sir, I have a question.
Sure.
Which book explain Java best?
Which book? I think I would recommend you. As of now, we have ChatGPT, right? We have all LLMs. I think it's best to use them to understand faster, understand more concise way, understand with examples. Okay, with easy examples. Okay, I would use all of my work nowadays. I am using LLMs, and I believe that is the roadmap going forward. So we use ChatGPT or any other. Suppose you use Claude or anything. So that is the going forward learning direction that we are having right as of now. Okay, so I am sorry to answer that I am long away from books. It's been long. I am not using books because the timeline is short for us when it comes to development, and we need to use GPT. So world is moving in a faster towards no code direction. Human won't be writing code anymore. So we are not anymore will be entrusted to write code. Okay. The thing is that we will be doing is that we will be prompting. That is, we have already started. We will be prompting. We will be making agentic AI. We will be having domain knowledge. So why I am saying is that everything, if we don't have to write code, this will be very easy, right? So but it won't be that much easy unless we have the domain knowledge. So what is the going forward? So nowadays we have a lot of fear, right, that our job will be gone and all things, AI will be taking our job over and all things. What I will say is that if we grasp domain knowledge, job can never be gone, because it is when I am working in this enterprise system, in a large scale enterprise systems, healthcare is such a complex that our job can never be taken away with the AI, because so how can I will explain why I am saying this when I am going through this. I will explain in all details. You will easily understand why never job can be taken away. Because any complex systems which require domain knowledge is actually break up on lot of workflows. We have lot of workflows for this. So all these workflows requires intense domain knowledges, and this needs to be break, and somewhere needs to be put agentic AI there. Okay, you need to put agents, you need to embed agents in the workflow. That is the value additions we are doing right now. So world is faster. So as of now, mostly we know that we write something prompts and we ask some questions to LLMs, and we are then expecting some output from LLMs, and that is like a generative AI that we guys actually tell. So generative AI is like something that is fine, but that is something not applicable for our healthcare domain. Generative AI is a very surface level thing. Whatever we are doing is that we are deploying thousands, in fact hundreds of agents. World is moving, like suppose even means many other small startups and many people have already started. They have like agents. So suppose you have an airline agent, right? You go to airline agent, tell them book this ticket for this season. Okay, it is a like an expert sitting out there. They know all about airlines. So airline, you go to airline agent, you tell about that I want to go into there. What is the best season out there? What is the best ticket I can take? What is the means payment process and all things? You will get all things regarding this in like for airline agent. So similarly, airline agent, we have healthcare agents actually. So means it's a superficial way of saying, but means already different US companies who are working in like Delta Airlines, they have already started working into airline agents and all things. So we are right now working for healthcare agents, and regarding healthcare agents, I will be talking today. So at a very surface level, I might bore you telling. Means although I have my laptop here, how that agent works, how that system is there, I cannot show you because it's a very confidential document. So here with a discussion is that I will be sharing all regarding the public, whatever publicly available in Oracle sites and public informations. Okay, and there will be no code discussed. That's a disclaimer. There will be no solutions will be discussed, and there will be no future roadmap will be discussed, no financial disclosure will be discussed. Just want to say this because this is as per the company policy. Okay. So what is healthcare agent? Okay. So what I work for? I work for something called EHR. Do you have any idea about this EHR? What is EHR? Anyone? Yeah. This is called Enterprise Health Record. So Enterprise Health Record is an operating system of health companies. Like any health organizations is having. As of now, like in India, it's very lenient. In US, every hospital should have this enterprise health record. In US, EHR is a very very complex things. That is, healthcare system is a very complex thing, and all those complexity, it will be undersells if I say that EHR is the operating system, because entire US is actually mostly governed with EHR systems. So this healthcare operating system actually is connected with, before going to the details of the slide, it connected with the, when suppose you are in you want to check it. Okay, one thing just want to, before proceeding, one thing just want to tell, there is like a, so you have like patient. So we have a hospital, right? So when like some event occurs, a patient goes and check in into hospital. Suppose you want to check for outpatient or maybe inpatient. You want to go and visit your doctor for some outpatient work or some inpatient work. So this will create an encounter. This they call it encounter. Okay. And after the patient check-ins into the hospital, you create the encounter. Then you move towards different processes. Suppose you go to hospital, you will be based on your So the doctor will be discussing with you, right? What will happen with you, and okay. It would be better if I can you play that video? I have already shared a video. Can you play that video, please, so that it will be easy to start this practice. Thank you, sir. This generally
Most health systems started adopting electronic health records back in the 1990s to replace paper-based processes. Although EHRs were supposed to help clinicians, they ended up creating more complexity, administrative work, and IT overhead. This forced clinicians to become data entry clerks, documenting their own work and navigating insurance companies, and took precious time away from patient care. Not to mention, it contributed to skyrocketing healthcare costs. At Oracle Health, we believe technology should work for clinicians, not the other way around. That's why AI must be foundational. The Oracle Health EHR is much more than an incrementally improved electronic record storage system. It's the next generation of EHR, built to continually take advantage of rapid advances in cloud technology, AI, and data sciences, while simultaneously removing the friction and fatigue caused by outdated systems. It's like having an intelligent clinical assistant personalized to your clinician's needs. AI is seamlessly woven into every layer of the Oracle Health EHR to deliver near real-time clinical insights and contextual decision support tools directly at the point of care. For example, clinicians can plan and manage their day with easy-to-digest patient summaries that help accelerate chart review. They can also use voice-driven navigation as part of their day-to-day care activities to quickly access critical information, such as recent vitals, medications, notes, and more. Oracle Health EHR can even facilitate conversational interactions to complex questions, such as drug interactions, dosages, symptoms, and diagnoses, informed by the latest clinical guidance and knowledge base. Oracle Health EHR is the future of healthcare, an immersive, AI-driven solution that not only equips clinicians with the intelligence they need, but gives them the time back in their day to focus on delivering the best patient care.
yes.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Why it is called a operating system? Why it is not a general software?
No, I'm saying that it's an under-sales if we say it's operating system. It is an enterprise health record itself. It is not an operating system, but it works as if an operating system. So you have in operating system whenever
In this demo,
suppose you want
you're
to
going to see how the system works through the eyes of a patient, front office worker, and doctor.
Actually, these software are
Yeah.
under an operating system, right?
and it's like an underlying operating system. Why I am saying? Suppose you want to install an application in your operating system. So operating system goes in you write on top of your operating system. Suppose a JVM that will be running on top of operating system, right? JVM is connecting with your kernels of your operating system, maybe Linux or whatever, Windows, okay? And you are writing Java on top of JVM, right? And so every request that is going through, even you are connecting to some internet HTTP request you are making through, you will be ultimately going through the operating system, right? It's like it is sitting in between as an operating system. Okay, so whenever you come to hospital, you have to check in this EHR. Okay, whenever you use some device, okay, that may be MRI or CT scan or whatever. Okay, in US you have to use that system, this EHR. Okay, whenever some big pharmaceutical company is doing some big clinical trials, okay, they also have like a limited masked personal data of about patients, okay, so that they can perform the clinical trials with DNA samples and all things. So it's like so every healthcare touch points, maybe it's a populations wise, sample wise, or maybe in some, suppose you go to hospital, you perform some procedure, you perform some surgery, you perform some services, right? So you have to those informations are put into this EHR. Okay, so it's like a centralized system where you have the all informations. You have the it's like a gold mine of information of health regarding health.
That is, they are having
Yeah.
lots of companies survey and they have made it like that.
Yes, no, not survey, it's like every hospital have this system. Okay, and all connected hospitals have using this OCI, so they have the upper layer of systems.
Is the data publicly available?
No, data, all this comes with a lot of healthcare is highly regulated out there. Whenever you arrive in US, at that time, you should have some insurance or whatever basic insurance you have, Medicaid or whatever hospital level insurance, so you have private insurance which is a highly paid insurance. Every person, individual in US nationals are generally covered with some form of insurance. Okay.
It's like HIPAA, COPA, some laws are there.
Yeah, HIPAA laws and yes, that's very right. So HIPAA laws is for protecting the information. Yeah, sorry.
Sir,
Yeah.
how to collect those data or because in India most of the hospitals use like they have stored our health record in white papers. So how to convert those hard copy data into soft copy?
Yeah, you saw that. I think you didn't pay much attention. Sorry about it. When you saw that EHR, okay. Suppose I would have my phone, or there will be some device will be sitting here. My patient will be here. Suppose I am a doctor. When the device will be placed here, with NLP it will be immediately taking all information. Whatever the collections will be there. Okay, that is how it is working. That is the direction that is we are going towards. So all information will be collected here. All document will be documented into that information. Okay, and it will start flowing from there. Somebody won't have to type it in computer. Okay, to put all the information. What patient will come with whatever problems are. It will automatically take all the informations. It will start the workflow from there. If doctor finds it, if this patient needs to be admitted, okay, from that takes documentation onwards, it will start start the process of admitting there. Okay, that software will start a process of admission out there. So there are a lot of things. When you go inside hospital, first you have a lot of clinical procedure done on you, right? So the doctors will meet you. You will do some inpatient work. Okay, outpatient work. Doctor will first initially meet you. Then after he will admit you. Okay, and then after some processes will be done. Some surgeries may be done. Some test report or lab report generally are done, right? So all these informations are actually continue to put into these systems. Doctor have continuous, whenever doctor opens his interface, he will be able to see what patient is going through, what procedures and whatever the things is going on. Okay. So whenever he have to put medications to that patient, he will looking at whatever the problem, he will start putting medicines. Even that recommendation, although we cannot, AI is not given a full permission for that, but it will give you the recommendations of that, whatever procedure can be done with that. Okay, doctor will have the recommendation. Whatever the pharmaceutical procedures that can be done with the doctor will have the recommendation of his end. He can put click onto there and following that some procedure will start processing forward, so that nurse will go and give that medications to that. So this is an entirely automated systems. Okay, and these systems are like multi-dimensional. When it is connecting to pharmaceutical companies for lab trials and all things, when it is connecting for hospitals and patients, okay, so it is better, so that it is better managed, okay, and it is connected for US government also. Suppose you have some health conditions, it is not publicly available data, but that data without giving your name, you can informations, okay, they have the clinical data, like this DNA and these guys have this DNA, this is the DNA, this person have this health conditions, having age this, and all this information will be there. So this data will be masked to the personal information level, and then after it will be supplied to the with some regulatory things by going through that lot of regulatory, like sir have said, HIPAA and all things. By going through lot of regulatory, I am not going to the complexity. After going through lot of regulatory filtration, it will supply the data to the pharmaceutical companies also. Okay, so it's an entire ecosystem that EHR have. Okay, so it's like you do Google. It's a Google of healthcare, kind of a thing. Okay, so I work in a very and this okay, how this when this application comes, I work in a very specified area, and that area I just want to come here. There are a lot of things happens in this process. like I said, when patient get here, that some clinical processes starts. Then after it will have like some encounter will be enlisted, and then after it will do like processes onto that. So it will perform some procedures, it will perform some lab reports, it will perform some modifiers onto that. So after that, you will have that information. Based on these procedures, some charging will be done. You go to hospitals, you have some charging, right? That payment is generally charged, okay? So that charging is generally done. That charging part, when that charging part comes, I comes in a very small part of that charge cycle, okay? So here I work into this part. So this is actually a bigger, under the bigger umbrella of revenue cycle, okay? So hospital have to take money from you, right? You have done some procedures and all things, and that revenue has to be taken. So this procedure, entire procedure is called revenue cycle. Okay, this revenue cycle have one of the part is charge. Every procedure you perform, every lab report you do, if doctor, whenever doctor visits you, some charge will be attached to you, right? So that charges will comes with lot of details. Okay. And that details will start with the revenue cycle. I work in this specific area, this is called revenue cycle. Okay, other than revenue cycle, there are a lot of things, remittance, and revenue management, there are contracts. So there are hundreds of areas. There are patient access, this part when patient comes and check-ins, this is called patient access. So this has hundreds of things out there. Not going into all those complexity details. I working for this specific part. So what I want to come here so that I can give us some value addition to your thinking is that when it comes to patient access or revenue cycle or whatever, there are different things out there. When it comes to these different circles, suppose I have a Venn diagram, right? You have a Venn diagram here, you have different intersection out there. So when you come to the different parts of this entire journey, at that time, at some point of time, suppose you are in patient access, suppose this is patient access. This patient access will start, this have couple of workflows. This will actually, in simple language, this have lot of workflows. Okay, workflow means suppose a list of tasks. Okay, a list of things that needs to be performed. Workflows. So these workflows, we have embedded AI agent in these workflows. Okay, so coming from like simple text generation, we are actually making AI to perform some work. That is our responsibility. We are making AI like humans. It will decide on something. It will perform some work. It has some informations. It will perform some kind of a work based on that. It is not that we only give text, it will give us a text response. It will start doing lot of work with that intelligence. It's like a brain sitting here, it will do some kind of a work out there. Okay. There are different kind of things that means this workflow, this AI agent does in this work. Okay. And I will come to that. I think I am only at first page. It's been, I'm going on and on. So it's like, when it comes to, like I said, I have just said the pretext. It's like AI agent is which is embedded into the workflow. So it does some kind of a work, and instead of taking all, okay, why I was saying that your job won't be gone, because healthcare is, suppose you AI agent give you some, you need to apply some paracetamol, and suppose AI agent give you some recommendation of some other medicines. If you apply that, you will be definitely in deep trouble, right? So in that, so this workflow, even though have AI agent, so this AI agent means, in a simple language, this AI agent is very much controlled. Okay, how it is controlled, I cannot go into that much of depth. So this AI agent is given the controlled environment. It has controlled outputs, structured controlled outputs, and structured controlled inputs. Okay, so these, with these inputs, with this output, these AI agents, like you have lot of models, right? You have like Llama and all other things, GPT 5.6 and Sonnet and all things models. This AI agent is actually trained with a specific GPT models. Okay, we have actually ChatGPT is as the ChatGPT is running. This ChatGPT model is running onto that Oracle, airborne Oracle metals. So we have access to every advanced model of ChatGPT, which is not publicly available. We are having 5.6 Sol we are using as of now. So GPT 5.6 Sol. So this one we are using to train this agent. So this agent, as I told you, I was working in charge agent, like it has lot of things, patient access, it has revenue cycles and all things. I am working in this charge agent, charge part, and this charge part has lot of domain knowledge, and with that we have something called charge agent. Without going further details, this charge agent is the AI part here I work on. Okay. This charge agent have couple of tasks. Okay. So it receives lot of inputs and it has a control structure output, and when somebody does some procedure, some charges are posted against that procedure. Some patient goes admitted, it performs some surgery onto that, some charges is posted with lot of details. Okay, some charges posted with some procedure code, modifier, revenue code, and lot of things details out there. Charge agent receives those details. Okay, and this charge agent have access to different systems actually in a controlled way. Again, in a controlled way. I am not going into that much of details. Charge agent have access to different systems. It will go. It has a brain that you see is 5.6 Sol. So it has a brain. Charge agent will go and access those against the so it will be like, sorry to make it such a complex page. Suppose you have a charge agent out here and some charges come. Some charge comes, so it goes. You will see in the PPT in after a couple of slides. It goes and accesses some informations. Okay, how it accesses informations? I think you guys knows. I think you definitely heard about RAG, right? Retrieval augmented generations, vector database, and all things, right? You guys have probably heard about this vector database. Oracle. Earlier in database side, DB side, you had like Oracle 10i, right, sir? 10G, yeah, 10G. Now Oracle have ATP. So this is autonomous database. This autonomous database means Oracle you don't have to control the database anymore. It will apply patches, it will self-heal, it will do all things. This is autonomous. Okay. This database is not anymore stagnant. This is autonomous actually. So along with this autonomous database 26 AI, here we are having vector database also. This is one of the breakthrough autonomous database. We have a lot of vector database, but this vector database is autonomous actually. So Oracle have this vector database. So when you have this RAG, it will go and query over the vector database for a couple of information. Suppose you have patient and doctor interactions and those are documented into somewhere. You go and fetch those documents out there in the vector database and query over it, right? And you have a lot of other APIs. You go and check over those APIs. You have access to a couple of informations out there. Okay, so I think this part you guys have not actually seen. When it comes to RAG, so suppose some charge is posted, and then after that charge, so what AI will do is that whether the charge is correct or not, okay, whether charge is correct or not, whether that charge contains all modifier, because why these are essential? Because in EHR system, generally they have in US they have these are actually so many things to tell in so little time, because in US they have every insurer is connected with the hospitals. Okay, suppose you have insurers out here, so that every insurers have some contracts with the hospitals. Okay, so sorry. So every insurer is connected to the hospitals, and we have specific contracts with those insurers. So suppose a guy comes with insurance X or Y, it has this charge agent will check what is the contract with that insurance we have. Based on that, charge will be applied. Charge might get reduced, might get increased, or later on at some stage the billing will happen. Billing will happen means automatically, like you do cashless, right? They will send the bill to the insurers, okay? And the objective is to get as much as dollar possible. So insurers and hospital contracts are also managed with regulatory things. There are something called regs. There are regulatory updates. US government sits in between. They decides for what procedure, what services, what amount of charges that can be done, can be made. In India, this is not done. Every hospital can do whatever charges. They do this. Okay, there is some big company called 3M. 3M provides these rates. Okay, in these rates, they have between insurance and means hospitals, rates sit between, and they decide what is the maximum amount that can be charged. Okay, so as I was telling, suppose some person comes with insurance X or insurance Y, it will go and check whether with that insurance how much providing for that how much money that insurance is providing, for what procedure, for what kind of services. Okay, they have a repository for that. Okay, that repository, that insurance things actually came into here as a factor. Okay, and that factors means we accesses those informations through various APIs and various things, and we finally aggregates lot of informations, some documents with doctors, some procedures applied, some modifiers we check, some go to the database with some controlled way, and finally accumulate all those informations with the charge agent. And what we will do is that it will take some recommendation or some decisions based on that. Charge agent will do that. That is the center piece. That is something we are seeing right now. It will do some kind. So this is for charge. We have similar for contracts. We have similar for revenue management. We have similar for everything. So charge agent is taking actually the decisions. What needs to be done on that charge. If somebody wants to change that modifier and want to place that insurance, want to place that billing for that, charge agent will do that, and it will place the place for that billing for next step. Like it will go for contracts and it will go for billing by modifying that charge. But going through the charge details, by going through that RAG database, going through the different APIs and different. Okay, while I was saying about APIs, when as you guys have actually working in this AI and all things, so there is one thing we AI understand very well, and that is not much of public domain, although that they called it semantic knowledge graph. Okay, so semantic knowledge graph is something like subject, predicate and object. Information is nowadays, database is nowadays storing the information in this way. Okay, subject, predicate, object. AI actually learns the information better in this way. Okay, predicate is has, is or something like that. Subject is something, suppose X has home. Okay, object is home or something, but it has a dog or something. So whatever I am saying in that way. So we have our contracts, all our informations are saved in this semantic knowledge graph. This is protected through APIs, and we access that semantic knowledge graph by this from this charge agent. While doing this work, before performing some work, it does all the validations. Okay, I am still in number 1 slide. I want to go faster for this. So, any question until now? We are good, right?
Who are the users of this?
Who are the users? Yeah. Users are like, you have like any patient, anyone who is taken into the hospital, any patient is the user. Any anyone, doctor is definitely a user. Okay, any doctor is user. Anyone like for there is something that US government also seeks. US secretary officials are also users because they also have some information access to that. So we have mostly like all healthcare workers or clinical informations, all who are involved into this clinical systems or healthcare related systems are users of this EHR.
So, is going to reduce the manpower?
Yeah, definitely. We mostly the thing is that this is like a central brain which is sitting here. It is reducing the manpower definitely, but manpower is they are directed towards most for their what their expertise, right? Doctor is doing his work only. He will perform surgery, right? If nobody can, software cannot do a surgery, right? Nurse will administer some medicine, right? Only nurse can administer that medicine, and nobody can else administer that medicine. They can give the informations that somebody in this system it will route. In this system, the information will be routed, but eventually nurse will provide that medicine. Okay. Similarly,
The actuation part is done by the person.
Yeah, all coordination, orchestrations,
Okay.
and all interfacings are here done by this software. Okay.
Okay. And one thing, can it be biased? Like if any insurance policy is giving more percentage to some hospital, then maybe it can be biased by them to train the system.
Definitely.
So why we can rely on this kind of thing?
I am telling you, this is how the system works actually. To answer your question, it will be a bit controversial, but still its thing is like this. Suppose a hospital is actually employing this EHR, right? So they will definitely want more revenue, right? So in order to perform more revenue, they will check the policy, right? Where the policy is giving me some space where I can charge more within the policy framework, not outside the policy framework. Insurance and hospital have some they have like a contract with them. Okay, and insurances are defined for this. Maybe some maybe broken finger, you can get this much of money. I'm making it so simple. So insurance and hospitals have some contract, okay, but that contract have some when you, without going to further complexity, that contract have some way out. Okay, you find out what is the maximum what is the maximum charge I can make. Okay,
So
that is how it works.
In this way,
Nobody pays out of pocket, but insurance will provide.
but in this way,
Yeah.
one scenario may be happening there is two patients.
Yeah.
One is giving more benefit by their insurance policy, and another is not giving that much benefit. Then maybe there is one seat or one bed in the hospital. Then definitely the patient with more benefit have the chance.
See, it starts after patient access. Okay, company means any insurance by US law, anybody can go and directly go and check it if there is a bed. It won't check what is the insurance thing is there. Insurance and payment comes after long. Billing will come at the end. It won't start immediately. Suppose you have a government insurance, or you have like a private insurance, nobody can deny based on that. Okay, so government insurance might provide you less and private insurance might provide you better, but you cannot be denied based on that. You might, for government insurance, you might have to do a lot of copay. You might have to give copay for that because your insurance doesn't provide that much of money for you. Okay, you might have to give copay, but you won't be denied based on that. That is how system is working internally.
Sir,
Yeah.
the CA agent is trained for a lot of data.
Yeah.
The category of insurance
Yeah.
is dividing. So, to train that CA model,
Yeah.
it's not feasible. How Oracle trained this model?
Yeah, Oracle. So Amarnath have like a repository of information, right? They have like RDBMS already present there. The database and all things are there. So we have a I told you like GPT 5.6 Sol is actually modified and actually trained for charge related work. Means a particular version of that is actually changed for charge related work with all those informations that is already available in the system.
Is there multiple AI agents and
No, AI agents are, see, every domain, as I said, patient access is one domain, okay, and you have a charge agent is one domain, okay, you have revenue management is one domain, you have contracts as one domain, billing as one domain, you have policies as one domain, you have like so many domains out there, okay. Mostly, it can have like, some domains can have multiple agents, most of the domains have at least one agent. That is how the system is working, right? This agent is taking the decisions, giving the recommendations but not taking the decisions. Human are there before that.
to train a model so much variety of data, then there will be some kind of error percentage will go high.
Yes.
And
Those,
the
there are frameworks for training. Okay. There are frameworks for training, how the training is done, how to choose that data, how the data cleansing is done. I'm not getting the data of those. Those are maintained actually for training the charge agent. Okay. So those, after maintaining those, you are clinically it is made in such a way it will work for charge related work only. Okay, it is trained in such a way. There are underlying frameworks already we have in Oracle, so it will work in that way. So
I'm having one question.
yeah,
That giving the charge related and the billing and all those things,
Yeah.
I'm asking how you are keeping inside the database. Is there any encryption or hashing technique or any other types of technique that can be implemented, because these are very sensitive data?
exactly. When it is actually starting from, means it is starting so many layers of that. Okay, I cannot open that. I could have showed you. So I can give you some glimpse how it means when you come into security part. So when you come in OCI, Oracle Cloud, you have something called region. Okay, you have like different region across the world. Okay, so one region has some compartment. Our compartment have a tenancy. Okay, and within that tenancy you have like some VPC, virtual private cloud. Okay, within that virtual private, suppose your application is sitting here, you want to interact with someone, some other application which is having in different compartment, different tenancy, different virtual cloud, you have a cross gateway out there. Okay, so within this cloud, when you have like it's like a virtual private network, okay, with some more complexity. It has a virtual private network. Within that, it has only boundary for that. It will connect, but nobody from externally can able to connect there. Okay, when you are connecting, you are maintaining lot of things. You definitely know about TLS, probably TLS 1.3, right? That is a standard. So it will maintain all those underlying standards, SSL, TLS standards, and all things for security. Those securities are already maintained. Okay. So it is within the application how you are maintaining the security. Suppose you have like a page that is open to you, right? You have some pages that is open to you. When you go and log in into that page, okay, it starts with OAuth and all things. Okay, so you have like OAuth authentications out there. Okay, we have I cannot name you. We have like Oracle have internal security systems out there. Inside cloud also, you cannot easily access here. You have something called IAM. IAM manages who can access this, who have the role to access, who have the ability to what they can modify, okay, those things needs to be permitted before using that. Some users is given access to these applications, has to be went through this IAM. Okay, so IAM will define the boundary for what to what extent it can do access, what extent it can access. So there are like so many applications, so many security layers it passes before entering there.
No, I'm asking that these are the whenever they are under the transmission and all.
Yeah.
But whenever we are preserving the data.
Okay, whenever we are preserving
Preserving the
definitely. So whenever you preserve the data, you definitely have an encryption out there. For suppose you have like a vector database, you definitely apply encryption out there. You have your private key out there. You will encrypt with that. We are
like in SQL server.
Yes.
SQL server, they are providing some encryption technique.
Exactly.
They are providing one service master key and they are providing one data master key.
Yeah.
Using that, they are using symmetric encryption. On top of that, they are using asymmetric encryption.
Exactly. Yeah.
SQL server, they are following this strategy. Is there Oracle having this kinds of strategy? Is there?
Definitely. Whenever you put some, suppose I can give you a simple example without further going. Suppose whenever you want to upload some data, that time you will generate a public key, you will generate a private key. This has to be generated. You will put reference of your public key there. Private key there. You will put reference of your private key there. Okay. The cloud will also have the information of your keys. Okay. You will take that private key. You will, when you upload that data, you will use the EDA standard. Okay. And you will encrypt that. Then after the data will get stored into the database. And whenever you retrieve again, okay, you again use that keys and you retrieve the data. But who, means you definitely know, I am not going into the CS details, you definitely know who is doing what, you use the public key for that, right? Public key is, encryption, public key is used when, who is, like to understand who is using your data. Yeah. So those encryptions are definitely, whenever you store your data are means mostly encrypted. Okay, unless especially this is especially true for the vector database. Okay, because vector database stores mostly for document related informations, most of those informations. So that's why vector database mostly have encrypted data out there. For RDBMS, we don't require encryptions because whenever you connect with RDBMS, you are already using your connection pool out there, right? This connection pool is already having encrypted data out there. Connection pool will use an encryption and standards to connect with the database. So you don't have to put an encryption into the data again there in the database. There are some exceptions out there, but I am not getting into the details of that. So that is there.
Once the data is fetched,
Yeah.
yes. So there are, you said that there are a lot of cybersecurity regulations.
Yes.
So anyone having access can have fetch such data and
Yes.
they can share within themselves.
Right.
Passing the,
Correct.
how is that? How is the operating system with this?
As I told you, getting an access is really very difficult out here. First of all, who will get access, with what role they will get access, they have some like they have some definitions, they have some boundary for that. I told you that IAM is there, right? Who will get access and to what role, to what extent they can access, they have some boundary for that. So now, so there are like there are things where comes like interoperability. Okay. So some data, some other company might require informations from healthcare informations that needs to be exchanged. Okay. That time also we have lot of policies are in place. Okay. So one example is that this is I'm going into some more details. Like suppose you have a compartment here. As I told you, there is a region. Thereafter we have compartment side. Suppose you have a compartment out here, right? And you have a compartment out here. So this your some other client application is residing in some other compartments, and your application is residing in this compartment. So you have, I told you IAM we have. In IAM we define policies also. If you open OCI, you will see this compartment is guided with policies. Okay, there are policy things out there.
Is that considered their compliances?
Yes, exactly.
All these.
Yeah, these are digitally written policies. Okay, so what extent you can, I could have, I cannot show you as of there. These are digitally written policies. To what extent it can access, to what governance you can access with that. Okay, so you have policies for that before extending the data and all things. Okay, I've been here for since long. So we have like, as I was telling, it must understand policy, timings, accountability. So it's like HR is like a live operating system. Okay? So live operating system, why I am saying it cannot wait. Like suppose somebody want to discharge, somebody like went into inpatient. Okay, they went through some procedures. They have to get discharged. They cannot wait the entire day with like 5 hours, 10 hours for that. Okay, so everything needs to be in real time. This is a very challenging, this system, this scalability that here we are working on. So when it comes to real-time system, there are a lot of challenges around these elements and these agents. Okay, because when you have high graphics, LLMs itself is you get a delayed response. Okay, mostly of these there means. So you have like a queuing mechanism mostly sits before that. There are like Kafkas, you definitely know about Kafka and all things. There are messaging brokers sitting before LLMs and they receive from that broker queue informations and they can transmit to the queue. Okay. So LLM itself is a bit slow. Means without getting into all details, itself is this when you work around LLM, this is a bit slow. So we have to deploy different techniques to make it faster, like to work with it faster. So means
and one more thing, that is the dynamic compliances. There are a US system or any system.
Yeah.
There might be some change of compliances, like Infosys Pinnacle.
Yeah.
Today's reserve rank change, they will reflect it into the software. Is there how it is done over? Compliance changes.
Oh, suppose there is some compliance changes and what it is done for against that. Okay. So whenever you have compliance changes, you have like from schema design. Suppose you compliance changes means lot of things. Okay. Earlier you had some API which have some specifications, right? Which have some specifications. If you want to access this API, you need to use token from here. You need to send your request in this format. Okay. You need to use these encryption standards. You need to use all this. Okay. Now when things changes, when compliances changes, they will give you the new way of working. They will have an extent of information. What is the new way of working?
That is done by some separate team or?
No, this is means depends on which domain or where you want to work. So it depends on if it comes for patient access will team handle which API they are interacting. So they have like for that. So they will have different informations. While here means I also want to tell you one thing. Nowadays relational database information, we are in an AI world. Relational database informations are means informations are stored in means enterprises and all big corporates nowadays don't want to store anymore the previous way of like RDBMS way. You have row columns and all things, right? So now they don't want to store in that way. They have like we have lot of underlying technologies that is opening door right nowadays. We have like last I told you, right, SKGs, right? One way of SKGs. SKGs are triplet. In triplet way, there are other things like SOM. This is called semantic object model. Okay, database now stores data Suppose you have like MongoDB database, right? This NoSQL database, right? So NoSQL database, you have like a JSON kind of data is stored in a JSON format. JSON retrieving data, JSON data itself is like a performance, non-performant. Okay, not that good performance. If you want to do a real-time system, okay. So SOM, but LLM want response in form of a JSON. So LLM has some formats, how they want to take the information, how they can compile the information. If you give in that format, they will compile it better. They have a better context. So you say, right, garbage in, garbage out. You say some bad prompt, it will give you some bad response, right? Similarly, when you feed data, that time also that data needs to be in a formatted way. Okay. So
centralized database is more secure than this distributed one. No?
Definitely, centralized is definitely secure, more secure.
Why they want to store?
Because nowadays we are touching in every workflow we are touching with AIs, and whenever you come AI, you need to put data in whatever the way that AI can consume. AI want to consume, right? So that you can make the value out of it, right? So here in SKG we have like nodes kind of a data. Here you have nodes, different nodes are connected in different way, okay? So this way LLM understands better way, okay? As SOM you have like a JSON kind of a way, like I say, NoSQL. So in there you have a one column, you will find that you have a JSON data, okay? So we have like lot of problem nowadays we are facing here. One of the problem is that fetching that JSON data and getting some fields out of it to process some informations. We are facing issues that can be a research out for you guys. So facing a JSON data and going over iterating over the JSON and going to fetch some data, it will take some time, right? So it will actually, when there are thousands of records, it will be more slower. Okay, so it will be more slower. That means the processing time will increase and the API response will decrease. The patient have to wait. Okay, so these are something we are deploying different techniques to make it faster. So this is one part. Okay, so as I was telling about regarding this live operational system. So okay, LLM as I told you, charge agent requires context, and those contexts they comes from RAG and all different ways. Okay, now going to the next slide. Okay, this I have already discussed over time. Okay, so okay, here in Oracle Health, what means we are doing here is something. It is described in this slide. If you see. Here they are saying that voice first AI enabled, like I was telling you, right? Whenever you visit some clinicians, you go and they will, all things will be, NLP will automatically take record of this and further voicing will start from there. Okay. These are voice first AI enabled healthcare directions. So you will, you require chart summaries, draft clinical notes, right? So those who are sitting at the top management level, they want charts for whatever the financial charts for that. Okay, those requires those are actually AI agent will make it in a smooth way so that you can easily understand that. Okay, and those are not anymore manual. Okay, so it will draft the clinical notes also. So you go and get a prescriptions, right? You don't require a prescription anymore. AI will give you that printout after the discussion. It will give you the printout, hand over the printout. Okay, so nothing is, only doctor will focus on whatever work they have to do, nothing administrative. So here you have the order conversations, workflow, you have coding suggestions. So it's like different systems in the healthcare world have different like coding systems. Germany there is a different, it's a different way of healthcare system are managed. Canada it is different way, US it is a different way of managing. Okay, So in different systems, in different countries, you have the different way of managing the healthcare systems. So that requires a different kind of a coding. We have ICT code, CPD codes, and all those standards are there. Those will bore you if I get into the details. So if you have those coding standards, those procedures and those things has to be going through the coding standards. Okay. So this is things. Okay, what we are doing right now, what is the validation we are doing? We are doing this right now. We are doing this charge validations, and when charge flows to the system, it is validating through the AI and all things. We are also doing prior authorizations, denial, revenue cycle automations, additional intake or administrative coordinations. So we will we will reduce the denials. That is one of the objectives we have. Reduce the denial means a patient goes through all the procedures. It will have those at the end of the day. It will some billing will be done, right? Based on all his performing work. So it will be the billing will be sent to the insurance company. Insurance might deny, right? Based on your charge mode or charge base, right? So we will before going to insurance. There are different checkpoints it has to go past. Okay, agent will take those checkpoints, and based on the data and context, it will understand. Means if there is a denial, why the denial can happen. Okay, and before attempting to send over to insurance company, prevent it and it will send it. It will modify that billing and it will send it over. Okay.
So it will increase the chance of
the approval
more and more. Yeah.
Yes, it will change chance of more and more approval. Yeah.
Sir,
Yes, go ahead.
suppose a patient don't get recovered from hospital A, and the same patient is going to hospital B.
Yeah.
So the initial data of that same patient, how the system is managing the data?
It's a very good question, I would say. So it's a very good question actually. So is that we have, so if so there are small hospitals, there are big hospitals. Okay. Suppose there is a Veteran Affairs is one of the biggest hospital out there in US Navy, US Army, wherever got posted in the worldwide. They are generally comes under these hospitals. Okay, they have these hospital status in worldwide different places. Okay, this is one hospitals that have different like suppose Apollo is Chennai, Apollo have Kolkata, Apollo have different places, right? So when you go in within Apollo system, you have the same software, right? No problem. Okay. Similarly, there are like small hospitals. Okay, how US system or hospital means healthcare system works is there are small hospitals. Okay, they are called community health hospitals. Maybe I'm not going into the disclosure of the clients. They are small hospitals. Okay, and those hospitals come together. Okay, buy software from Oracle or buy software from APIC systems. Okay, so although they operate separately, but they are under one big umbrella. Okay, these are the two different ways of working. Okay, now you are saying I am going from Apollo to Max Health. What will happen, right? That's what you're saying. So whenever you go from Apollo to Max Health, you have like so many standards way of exchanging data in US. Okay. So APIC system can APIC is one of the competitor of us and Oracle Health. So APIC system can get the Oracle Health data. Okay, but in what format? There are some standards that is governing it. Okay, they can exchange the data, but there are some policies, there are some standards that needs to be maintained so that patient information patient information cannot be mishandled. Okay, so those standards needs to be maintained. So means by saying this, so you have like MRI, CT scan, so the different machines, right? So even in US, this software is considered as a device. So suppose it's device means it's a category 3 system. Means device means if your device give a wrong output, that means that patient can get terminally disaster, right? So similarly, if you have wrong output from this software, patient can have a terminal disaster, right? Because everything is managed by this system. Patient medication administrations to when ICU it will admit and everything. So this EHR software is actually very critical category 3 software. It's called. Okay. So it is a so that's why they give a lot of importance on these EHR systems. So to answer your question in this short places, how those policies are affected, I have to go to details. But you have different policies, different standards. So I suppose you have IEEE standard for communication, right? You have underlying communications. So similarly, there are healthcare standards are there. Okay. To exchange the information. There are exchanges also there. Okay. There are also exchanges. They call it exchange also. Exchange. So you have this hospital. You have to go through this government exchange. Government will sit in between, take the information. They will go through that. So that is how in simple way that is answered. Okay. Going to the next slide. So this touches a broad domain. This is a very complex and broad domain. So I'm getting into all this. So you see from this this one, a patient checked in. It has the like demographics. Okay, it has the age and all things. So then after one encounter will get created, the location and care team will start administering. Then after a clinical work will start. Then after the clinical, like it has the orders, it has the medications, it has the labs, imaging and all things will be done. Different surgery and different procedures will be done. Then after revenue will be what against those procedures. What are the revenues? Those things will start working. Then after we have the population quality risk and outreach analytics. So when in US hospital they keep information in this way that some Asians, somewhat from Africans, that different people are out there, right? So they also have to have that policy, this population information also for securing for drug administration. Okay, some drug might be more effective for Asians, some may not be more effective. So those information are also effective. Going to the next slide. So you have that, like I said, again same thing. Clinical applications will start with all these clinical tools departments. We have different departments to coordinate. We have devices. We have interoperability EHR. Then after we have revenue cycle and patient accounting and different reporting parts. We have the population informations. And based on top of that, there are machines, there are OCIs are sitting. So you have the data platforms, applications in OCIs which is handling the data. We have the OCI cloud information itself, ERP, enterprise business planning. We have the human management, we have the security as well. Okay. This is about the agent I was talking about, charge agent. Suppose an agent, not a specific charge agent, how the agent sits in between. Okay, agent sits here. Yeah, here agent will orchestrate everything. So it will have a role. When I am saying role, I think if you work in agent, whenever you, I will definitely encourage you guys to check for agents because you need to make your agent access system. You have something called agent.md5. So in that MD5 we will find that this role, scope and output contract are defined. Okay. So you have this role, scope and output contracts. So output contract is what format of output you want from that agent. That needs to be defined.
Small interruption.
Sure.
Is there any website or app, something like that, where we can create our own agent?
Yes, there are a lot of frameworks.
If you can mention one of them, some
Sure.
of them which are free,
Sure.
and students can also use.
So you go to, yeah, you have like you have all. So when you are creating an agent, you need to learn this. So you have like you have different agentic frameworks. Okay, so you need to learn those frameworks. Okay, so you can use any kind of agent frameworks out there. Okay, but there are a lot of agent frameworks placed in this there. So you can learn those. There are agent frameworks you need to learn. You need to learn how those agent frameworks are chaining and all things you need to learn. Okay, and these are open source. You search with agent framework, give some agent framework, you will get all those. Okay, you will search for chainings. What are the chainings? Different chainings are there. Okay, you will get that open source. So all this needs to be learned, and then after what you will do is that you access some brain. Like brain is the LLMs, right? Brain is the LLM. So you have like different Claude 4.6 or that is Sonnet 4.6. You have GPT. You have different anthropic models and all that. You can use some simply open source models, okay, and use it in your training, working onto those, generate those outputs based on that agent. So when you work on the agent framework, you will see that you need to write some function. There you need to pass that model, okay. Based on that, it will give you some output format. You need to write how that file need to be written for roles and all things. Those things will be there. Scope is so, time is so little, so I cannot get into that more details. Okay. So here you have like, okay, one more thing is that this is an important part. So when you have an agent created, agent should access some tools, right, to get the informations here. So you have that APIs, rule calculator, queues, and different from these different tools you agent get information. So world is moving towards something called MCP, right? You definitely heard about MCPs. So earlier days you have REST APIs, REST endpoints, you write a lot of REST endpoints. World is moving towards MCPs. MCP talk with LLMs. Okay, we don't talk with LLMs directly. So LLMs talk with MCP. MCP talks with different tools. Okay. So we have fast MCP and different kind of framework are there to create MCP. We have telemetry. Telemetry means to get the traces, logs, and all things. We have guardrails for that. To what extent the brain will work, okay, the agent will work. So those needs to be defined, okay, and there are frameworks for that. How to define those? We have context as well. When you give LLMs some context, we have to give policies, terminologies, and RAGs for that. Okay, okay. So again, I say most of this public informations. So we have to give states, transitions, human key failures, and all things. Okay, same. So you have the structured context. Okay, again, I just want to skip it out. Here, I just want to highlight that whenever you create agent, you cannot give all access to it. Okay, why I was telling that why AI cannot take your job immediately, that I was telling you. You need to create these guardrails, right? You cannot give access to everything, AI. Okay, if you start giving access to AI everything, you can find it out one fine morning, you come and your database, all data is gone. Okay, right? Yeah. So the thing is that you need to guardrail it. To what extent you have to? Whenever you have to guardrail it, some human intervention will come. Human will come and it will accept the AI recommendations and it will give it, go ahead and do this. Okay. So before taking some steps, that is there are some criticality level is there. So confidence scores are there in technical term. So based on that, people will take some actions. So all those in order to before taking those actions, you need to prevent. Means you have to put some guardrails. You need to give like least privilege tool access and all things. So you have like policies and models are those policies are placed in there. Okay. While talking about the guardrails, we also have to talk about the evaluation as well. Here in evaluation, you see you cannot come and say this AI agent is working simply well. So there are a lot of standards out there. You need to provide those golden places, how those evaluate your AI agent. Okay. You need to do some regression testing. You need to do this reliability testing. Okay, and how those are agent is accepting, how you accept the recommendations, how you are modifying, how you are rejecting the recommendations. Those also taken into consideration by evaluation. Okay. So there are a lot of evaluation frameworks also placed out there. Okay. So here is my charge agent board, which I was talking about you. This is a public safe reference architecture. Okay. So I'm coming directly to the part and skipping all those. So here I was talking about the charge agent, right? This is some clinical event. Clinical event means the patient checks in, some encounter get created, some orders, some procurement, some medicine supplies, notes are happening out there against that patient. Okay. And from that we need to normalize that information first in order to process, like you do cleansing and all things, right? You need to normalize the information first. Then after those informations are retrieved by the charge agent. Okay. And following means after retrieving those informations, it also checks what are the rules and codings it is applied to. It goes for document query and all things, coding and billing related informations. And after that, after this process get completed, it comes for the next revenue cycle. Revenue cycle is like billing and claims. Okay, and analytics is done going forward. And all these informations are taken into audit trail. So you have audit about all information, what charge agent did, how it did, how the decision is taken. Okay, because of this is what I took. It will have the audited information out there. Charge agent will put you right. Like you, when you prompt some GPT, you say that because these informations are available, because this is my conclusion, right? That. Okay. So this is for the audit trail. Okay, again same thing, detect, assemble, it's map those things and validate and route the final word. Okay, so here I want to highlight again. So before going to, before taking any decisions which is recommendations or decisions which is changing the behavior of the system permanently, so a human review is generally done. Okay, suppose you are using, when you create an agent at your local computer, you will see it will ask for your prompt. Okay, it will ask for if would you like to accept this information? Yeah. Would you like to proceed? Would you like to would you like to change this file? Would you like to do this? Those things needs to be done. Means those informations, those accept, modify, reject or escalate. Okay, this kind of informations in this are needed. Okay, so these are coming under the accountability. Okay, finally coming to the OCI. All of these applications, I am talking about the, initially I talked about the domain, then after I give you the idea about the applications, how charge agent is working, and then I am now talking about the OCI. All of these things are actually sitting on top of OCI. Okay. So you have a runtime, like you have like a enterprise AI agent also, you can use it. So it will give like a lambda. If you see about AWS or Azure, you have a lambda, right? You have some functions out there, you use that functions, and it will perform some applications. What? You have like enterprise AI agent also available in our OCI. We have like model endpoints. So whichever model you want to access, you have the endpoints for those. Vector stores, custom generated agentic applications are also there. Okay, so data foundations, we use Oracle database. Object storage, large object storage, we have streaming, integration, and analytics for those. Okay, for application runtime, we have like, whenever the application runs, it runs on big Kubernetes cluster compute systems on top of that. Okay, Kubernetes actually orchestrates the system. So you have the Kubernetes cluster out there, you have a gateway, private networking, like I was saying to start, like VPC, virtual private cloud. You have security governance, IAM key management. I was talking about IAM right IAM, key management, network isolations, anything? And over time? Yeah, sure. Sorry about being over time. Yeah, no problem.
So participants, we have a 10 minutes tea break now. Please return after 10 minutes. Please 3:15 by 4. Please return back. You can go for tea break.
Sure. MySQL to Microsoft. Oracle to Oracle database. MySQL to Microsoft database. MySQL যেটাকে বলে হচ্ছে Microsoft database. দুজনেই দামি, আমরা লিখি হচ্ছে SQL কোয়েরি। ঠিক আছে, SQL কোয়েরি আমরা MySQL, SQL কোয়েরি আমরা Oracle লিখি। কোয়েরিটা একই রকম ফরম্যাট। সিলেক্ট স্টার্ট ফ্রম সেটা আমরা Oracle লিখি, সেটা আমরা MySQL লিখি। এবার কিছু ডিফারেন্ট সিনট্যাক্স একটু চেঞ্জ আছে, ঠিক আছে, সেটা সেগুলো ফেচ ফার্স্ট লোড এখানে লিখি, ঠিক আছে, মানে আমরা লিখি হচ্ছে টপ সিলেক্ট টপ 1 3 রোজ এরকম, মানে কিছু সিনট্যাক্স একটু ডিফারেন্স আছে। আদারওয়াইজ সিকুয়েল কোয়েরি, ইটস সিকুয়েল কোয়েরি, MySQL and Oracle database দুটো সেপারেশন আছে।
এবারে আমাদের একটা অ্যাডমিন যাওয়া তখন দেখলাম যে সার্ভারের যে লেটেস্ট ভার্সন সেটা মানে এন্টারপ্রাইজ সিলেকশন যাওয়া যে এন্টারপ্রাইজ সেটা ওরাকলের অনশিকার এখন
হ্যাঁ, না ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে কি, জাভার ডেভেলপমেন্ট দুই জায়গায়, ঠিক আছে, একটা হচ্ছে ওরাকেল নিজে ডেভেলপমেন্ট করে, এটা বলে ওই এন্টারপ্রাইজ জাভার এন্টারপ্রাইজ, আর একটা ওসিজি মানে ওরাকেল, একটা হচ্ছে ওরাকেল একটা কমিউনিটি প্রসেস হয়, ওজেপি ওরাকেল সরি জাভা কমিউনিটি বলে জেসিপি জাভা কমিউনিটি বলে। আমরা যখন দেখি আপনি কোনটা ডাউনলোড করবেন জাভা, যেইটা হচ্ছে দেখবেন ওপেন জেডিকে বলে যেটাকে বলে স্ট্যান্ডার্ড এডিশন, ঠিক আছে, ওপেন জেডিকে। ওপেন জেডিকেটা হচ্ছে সবার জন্য ফ্রি, ঠিক আছে, ওটা এই যে জাভা মানে এই যে আমরা যেটা বললাম জাভা কমিউনিটি যেটা, হ্যাঁ, সেটা করা হয়েছে এই কারণেই 2010 সালে সান মাইক্রোসিস্টেমকে ওরাকেল কিনে নিয়েছিল, ঠিক আছে। তারপর থেকে ওরাকেল চেষ্টা যেটা করেছে, আনফরচুনেটলি সেটা হচ্ছে জাভাটাকে আর কি কন্ট্রোল করতে নেই, ঠিক আছে, কিন্তু বাই ডিফারেন্ট রুলিংস অ্যান্ড অল থিংস জাভা ইজ স্টিল ওপেন সোর্স। কেন ওপেন সোর্স? তার কারণ হচ্ছে ওই জাভার যে ডেভেলপমেন্ট, ঠিক আছে, সেই ডেভেলপমেন্টটা মানে কি ওই দুটো ভাগে ভাগ হয়। একটা হচ্ছে ওরাকেল বলে যে আমি ওরাকেল লিড করে আর কি ডেভেলপমেন্ট, ঠিক আছে, হ্যাঁ, ওরাকে লিড করে ডেভেলপমেন্টে। একটা পার্ট হচ্ছে যেখানে আর কি ওপেন সোর্স ও লিড করে এবং বলে যে ওপেন ভার্সন হচ্ছে এইটা। আর একটা পার্ট হচ্ছে ওরাকে নিজস্ব কিছু আরও ফিচার্স অ্যাড করে দেয় জাভার সাথে, ঠিক আছে, সিম্পল ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ জাভার সাথে কিছু ফিচার্স অ্যাড করে দেয়, যেটা বলে যে তোমাকে এটা কিনতে হবে এন্টারপ্রাইজ, এই ফিচার্সগুলো পেতে গেলে, ঠিক আছে। এবার যেটা ওপেন রয়েছে সেটা ওপেন কেন হবে? তার কারণটা হচ্ছে এই আপনি যা অ্যাজিওর বা AWS যেই ফাংশনালিটিগুলো ইউজ করেন না কেন, সেগুলো সবকটাই দেখবেন যে জাভার উপরই তৈরি করা, ঠিক আছে। তো জাভা হ্যাজ টু বি রিমেন ওপেন সোর্স, ঠিক আছে। তাই জন্য ওরাকে কেনার পর থেকে গুগল এই জন্য এই কোডলিং, ঠিক আছে, এরকম টাইপের গো, ঠিক আছে, এরা বেসিক্যালি জেভিএম ইউজ করে এই সমস্ত ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজগুলোকে বার করা শুরু করে, ঠিক আছে। সুতরাং আপনি যখন ইউজ করবেন তখন মানে আর কি ওপেন সোর্স ওপেন জেডিকে ইউজ করবেন। কিছু বলছেন না? আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, এইটা তো আমি জিজ্ঞেস করতে যাচ্ছিলাম, হ্যাঁ, এই চাকরিটার উপর, হ্যাঁ, আচ্ছা, দেখো আমি তুমি তো তুমি ক্রিয়েট করতে চাইছো যে পেশেন্ট আবার ডিঅ্যাডমিট হবে, সে তুমি যে কোনো, দেখো ডেফিনেটলি যত ভালো মডেল হবে তুমি যেটা বুঝতে পারবে, হ্যাঁ, তুমি ডেফিনেটলি যত ভালো মডেল হবে তত ভালো তোমার জেনারেশনস ভালো হবে, তত ভালো লজিক্যাল আইডিয়া হবে, ঠিক আছে। সেটা তুমি করতেই পারো। তো তোমার যেটা রিঅ্যাডমিট করা যাবে যেটা বলছো খুব সিম্পল, যেটা 20,000 বা 50,000 টোকেনের যে ধরনের মডেলগুলো আছে সেই একটা মডেল নামিয়ে আমি সেই মডেলটাকে ট্রেন করি বা সেই মডেলটাকে এজেন্ট হিসেবে ইউজ করে, ঠিক আছে, সেই মডেলটাকে তুমি মানে কি সেই মডেলটাকে ট্রেন করে সেই মডেলটাকে ইউজ করে তুমি দেখতে পারো যে আউটপুট কীরকম হচ্ছে, রাইট? তো তুমি সেটাকে ফার্স্টে আমি বলবো যে মুভ করো তুমি এজেন্টের দিকে, এজেন্টের দিকে কেন কি ওয়ার্ল্ডটা এগিয়ে মুভ করেছে। মানে বেসিক্যালি আমরা সবাই চাইছি যে আমাদের কাজটা একটা এজেন্ট, ঠিক আছে, এক্সাক্ট। তখন তুমি কেন এজেন্টের দিকে মুভ করো? তুমি যখন কোনো কাজ করো, তুমি ওয়ান্ট টু বি হেডেড, তুমি কোনো ঘুরতে চাইছো, তুমি কাজ কন্ট্যাক্ট করো ট্যুরিজম অপারেটারের সাথে, রাইট? ট্যুরিজম একটা এজেন্ট, রাইট? আমি সিম্পলভাবে ওভাবে বলবো আর কি। ও তোমার ওই কমপ্লেক্সিটিটাকে হ্যান্ডেল করে দিচ্ছে, তোমাকে একটা রেকমেন্ডেশন দিল, তোমাকে তার টিকিট কেটে দিল না সঙ্গে সঙ্গে, বুঝতে পেরেছো? তোমাকে সঙ্গে সঙ্গে পেমেন্টের প্রসেস তো করে দিল, কিন্তু ও তোমাকে কতগুলো জিনিস বলে দিল যে এই সময়টা যেতে পারে, এই সময় সিজনটা বেস্ট, ঠিক আছে, এই জায়গায় করতে পারেন, এটা রিটার্নারি প্ল্যান, এই যে রেকমেন্ডেশন, সিমিলারলি এজেন্ট এখানে রেকমেন্ডেশন দিচ্ছে। দেখো এইটা তো হ্যাঁ বেসিক্যালি দেখো এই যে ধরো যে আমাদের যে চ্যাটজিপিটি যেটা আমরা ইউজ করছি, মানে চ্যাটজিপিটি আশা করে চেঞ্জটা হয়েছে, চ্যাটজিপিটি প্রচুর পরিমাণে ভিডিও গ্রাফিক্স আমরা ইউজ করছি এবং প্রচুর পরিমাণে পাওয়ার ডিসিপেশন হচ্ছে, এটা আমরা নিজেরাও বুঝতে পারছি। আর এবার এইটা না বিভিন্ন লেভেলে আমরা ট্যাকেল করছি, বুঝেছো? কীভাবে ট্যাকেল করছি? ফর এক্সাম্পল যখন আমরা একটা এজেন্ট ইউজ করছি, এজেন্টটা কতটা মিনিমাম কনটেক্সট উইন্ডো বা টোকেন ইউজ করতে পারে, ঠিক আছে, যাতে আমরা এখানে মানে পাওয়ার সাইড ইম্প্যাক্টটা কমাতে পারি, বুঝতে পেরেছো? যত কম কনটেক্সট উইন্ডো টোকেন ইউজ করে ডেফিনেটলি তত কম প্রসেসিং টাইম তত কম হবে, ঠিক আছে, হিট তত কম হবে। হ্যাঁ, যত প্রিসাইজ তুমি সবসময় দেখবে যে অতিরিক্ত ইনফরমেশন দেওয়াটা আমার দরকার, তখন সঠিকভাবে বার করতে পারবে। আর কম ইনফরমেশন দিলে ওর কাছে কনটেক্সট থাকে, তো ইনফরমেশনটা টু দ্য পয়েন্ট হতে হবে, কনটেক্সট উইন্ডোটাকে কমাতে হবে। এই জায়গাগুলো তুমি এজেন্ট যখন তৈরি করো তখন এই জায়গাগুলো ঠিক আছে। এটা যারা হচ্ছে তোমার মানে সফটওয়্যারের পার্ট আছে, কারণ ফিজিক্যাল পার্ট হিসেবে তো আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি যে এখনকার যেগুলো হাইপারস্কেলার বা সাবমেরিনও রয়েছে সেগুলো সমুদ্রের তলায় রয়েছে, ঠিক আছে। এবার সেই টেকনোলজিটা খুবই ডিফিকাল্ট, সবার কাছে অ্যাভেলেবেল না, কিছু কান্ট্রির কাছে অ্যাভেলেবেল আছে আর কিছু না। বহু বছর সময় লাগবে এবং সমুদ্রের যেহেতু ইটস আ ভেরি পাওয়ার হাঙ্গরি, পাওয়ারটাকে তুমি কীভাবে সেভ করবে সেটার জন্য তোমাকে ওই জলের একটা ওয়াটার প্রয়োজনটা তোমার জলের প্রয়োজন সেখানে, ঠিক আছে, পাওয়ার সেভ করার জন্য। দেখো কুল্যান্ট ইউজ করা যেতে পারে, কুল্যান্ট ইজ ভেরি এক্সপেন্সিভ, জল ইজ ওয়াটার ইজ দ্য অ্যাবান্ডেন্টলি অ্যাভেলেবল সেখানে, অবভিয়াসলি নট এনিমোর ওভার দ্য টাইম। আমরা ক্লিন ওয়াটার ইউজ করা উচিত নয়, এটা সমুদ্রে আমরা জল ইউজ করতে পারি, সমুদ্রের জল স্পেশালি চায়নাতে খুবই ইউজ হচ্ছে। না দরকার পড়ে না, ডাইরেক্টলি তুমি তো হিটটাকে ডিসিপেট করতে চাইছো, তুমি জাস্ট যে সিপিইউটা যে হিটটা জেনারেট করতে সেটাকে জাস্ট সিম্পলি নিয়ে নিতে চাইছো, বুঝতে পেরেছো? হিট এক্সচেঞ্জার। তো তোমার কাছে কোনো সিস্টেম যেটা 20 ডিগ্রি টেম্পারেচার রয়েছে আর হিটটা তোমার 40 বা 50 ডিগ্রি টেম্পারেচার রয়েছে, থার্মোডাইনামিক্স আমাদের কী বলে বেশি হিট থেকে কম হিটের দিকে চলে যাবে। সমুদ্রের জলের টেম্পারেচার কম থাকলে, যেখানে সমুদ্রের জলে স্পেশালি ওরা কোথায় করছে না, যেখানে আমাদের কোল্ড ওয়াটার ইজ কনফ্লুয়েন্সিং উইথ দ্য হট ওয়াটার, সমুদ্রের জলে দেখবে বিভিন্ন জায়গায় কোল্ড ওয়াটার, আর্টিক থেকে কোল্ড ওয়াটার আসছে, এক জায়গা থেকে হট ওয়াটার আসছে, কারেন্টগুলো যেটা রয়েছে, যেখানে কোল্ড ওয়াটারটাকে কনফ্লুয়েন্স হচ্ছে সেই কোল্ড ওয়াটারের দিকে ওরা হাইপারস্কেলার তৈরি করছে, নিচ মডেল করছে, তাতে বেশি তাড়াতাড়ি হিটটা ডিসিপেট করে। হ্যাঁ, কমা উচিত, বেসিক্যালি কমা উচিত। তবে ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে কি ইন্ডিয়ার মতো লো কস্ট কান্ট্রিতে মানে আমাদের এখানে ধরো এখন যে কটা হাই মানে সার্ভার তৈরি করছে ওরা সেই কটা তো আমি হচ্ছে ফ্রেশ ওয়াটারের উপরে করছে, এটা করা উচিত না। বাট ইন্ডিয়াতে তো রুলস আর নট দ্যাট মাচ Sure, no problem. Five minutes. Five minutes. কোয়েশ্চেন অ্যাকচুয়ালি দেখো এইটা যখন তুমি বললে তখন তোমাকে এইটা বলা দরকার যে বেসিক্যালি ইনফরমেশনসগুলোকে এখন আমরা ডিফারেন্টভাবে ভাগ করছি। কীভাবে ভাগ করছি? ফর এক্সাম্পল তোমার কাছে যখন তুমি যখন কোনো ডিসিশন নিতে চাও তোমার তো তুমি এখনও জানো না যে হেলথ কেয়ারে আমি কী করি, ঠিক আছে? ফর এক্সাম্পল আমি কী করি তুমি জানো, তো তোমার কাছে জেনারিক ইনফরমেশন আছে যে এই জিনিসটা এইভাবে কাজ করে, এই জিনিসটা সফটওয়্যার এভাবে কাজ করে, জাভা পাইথন পুরো ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ আমি জানি। সো একটা জেনেরিক ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ মডেল, ঠিক আছে, GPT 5.5 বা 5.6 জেনারেল ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ মডেল, ওই ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ মডেলটাকে একটা বিয়ারবোন মডেলে রাখা হয়, ঠিক আছে? ওই ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ মডেলটাকে বিয়ারবোন মডেলে রাখা হয়। এবার এন্টারপ্রাইজগুলোকে কীভাবে দিচ্ছে অ্যাক্সেস, তারপরে ওই ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজের উপরে ওই ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজটার উপরে যদি আরও স্পেসিফিক ধরো চার্জ রিলেটেড জিনিসপত্র আমি শেখাতে চাই, ধরো কোনো যে কোনো ডোমেন স্পেসিফিক ইনফরমেশন শেখাতে, হ্যাঁ সিলেক্টিভ ডোমেন স্পেসিফিক ইনফরমেশন শেখাতে চাই, সেখানে যে ওয়েটগুলো রয়েছে সেই ওয়েটগুলো আরেকটা ধরে নাও এটা একটা নিউরাল নেট ডেফিনেটলি ধরে নাও একটা নিউরাল নেটে একটা কোনো একটা মেমোরিজের মধ্যে আলাদা একটা কম্পার্টমেন্ট ক্রিয়েট করে আলাদা একটা ঘর মানে আলাদা একটা টেন্ডেন্সি ক্রিয়েট করে ওখানে রাখা হয়, ঠিক আছে? যেই টেন্ডেন্সিতে শুধুমাত্র ওই অর্গানাইজেশনের ওয়েটগুলোই থাকবে। ইন্টারনেটে যা ডেটা সেইটা থাকে হচ্ছে একটা বেয়ারবোন মেটারে, ঠিক আছে? আর সেই তারপরে যে অর্গানাইজেশন স্পেসিফিক যে ডেটা সেইটাকে যদি তুমি এলএলএম এর সাথে মিক্স করতে চাও তাহলে তোমাকে ওই ওয়েটগুলো রাখা হয় একটা আলাদা কম্পার্টমেন্টে, ঠিক আছে? হ্যাঁ, মানে সেক্ষেত্রে এই এলএলএমটা ওই ইনফরমেশনসগুলোকে নিয়ে প্রসেস করে আবার ওখানে রেখে দেবে ওয়েটটাকে, বুঝতে পেরেছো? ওয়েটটাকে আমি এলএলএম এর সাথে অ্যাড করে দিচ্ছি, তার মানে এলএলএম এর সাথে অ্যাড করে ইনফরমেশনটা ওখানে অ্যাড হয়ে যাবে, সেইটা আমরা করছি না, আমরা দুটোকে সেপারেট করে দিচ্ছি। সেইটা হচ্ছে ওয়ান ওয়ে, ঠিক আছে? দ্য আদার ওয়ে ইজ আউট ইজ এলএলএমটা এলএলএম থাকবে আর তুমি তোমার কাছে ডিফারেন্ট সার্ভার্স থাকবে, এই র্যাক এমসিপি সব থাকবে, সেখানে তোমাকে অর্গানাইজেশন ইনফরমেশন তুমি অ্যাক্সেস করবে কিন্তু এলএলএম এর ওয়েট অ্যাড করবে না, ঠিক আছে? তুমি কনটেক্সট উইন্ডোতে নেবে, ঠিক আছে, আবার তুমি রিটার্ন করবে। এবার ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে কি জানো, বেসিক্যালি তুমি যখন অ্যাজ অ্যান ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল অ্যাক্সেস করছো তখন এই সিকিউরিটিটা ওরা তুমি যে ইনফরমেশনটা ওকে দিচ্ছ সেখানে ওয়েট অ্যাড করছো কি করছো সেটা তোমার কাছে ভিজিবল সম্ভব না, কিন্তু এন্টারপ্রাইজ লেভেলে আমাদের কাছে যেটা ভিজিবল, আমি ক্লাউডের সাথে দেখতে পাই যেখানে ওয়েট অ্যাডিশন হচ্ছে বা মনিটরেশন হচ্ছে কি হচ্ছে, তো তোমার লেভেলে হয়তো ডেটা ইজ ক্যান বি রিয়েলি নট সিকিউর, তোমার ক্ষেত্রে একটা ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল লেভেলে তুমি এলএলএম সাইডে দেখতে পাবে, কারণ আমাদের ক্ষেত্রে আমরা এন্টারপ্রাইজের ওসিআইকে আলাদাভাবে রাখি, সেই ইনফরমেশন ওরাকে নিজে ম্যানেজ করে বেরোবে, আমি নিজে দেখতে পাচ্ছি যে ওয়েট কতটা কোথায় অ্যাডিশন হচ্ছে বা কমছে বাড়ছে হচ্ছে, সেই অ্যাক্সেসিবিলিটি হচ্ছে তোমার হয়তো মানে আনফর্চুনেটলি সেটা অ্যাক্সেসিবল। হ্যাঁ বলছে তো এগুলো সব ফ্যাকাল্টিদের কথা জানেন, এটা ভালো
data block data block সেখানে extend তারপরে সেল স্পেস তৈরি হচ্ছে ওখান থেকে এটা আমার ভালো আছে যখন প্রথম পরিচিত মনে করলে আমি
entrepreneurshipটাই আমার খুব ইচ্ছা ভবিষ্যতে জানতে টাইম পাচ্ছি আমাদের সময় মানে পাশাপাশি যে এই ডেভেলপমেন্টগুলো তখন অতটা মানে কি আমাদের কি করে এখন তো টেকনিক্যাল তার পাশাপাশি তার মানে অনেক কিছু করা হচ্ছে I will take some more minutes of your time, maybe 5 or 10 minutes.
Okay, so we are starting the session now. If you can call your participants who are outside, just call them. Sir, you may start. Okay, so we are starting the session.
Thank you. So I understand after lunch it's very difficult to keep straight. After 3 weeks, especially. Okay, so I'm at the last lap of my journey. So I talked about AI agents and everything until now. So now I'm here at the infrastructure level. At infrastructure level, what we do. So here we have like at infrastructure, the background infrastructure is maintained by OCI, Oracle Cloud. So Oracle Cloud, you know, we'll have this as I discussed. We'll have this database and object storage, streaming, integration, analytics. We use all these infrastructures. We use there is something called this is not the advanced encryption standard. There is something called AES. It's a kind of a streaming framework. We use it. This is actually with Kafka. Actually, this is actually a message broker. So like RabbitIQ or any other message broker, we use Kafka for charge agent. Charge agent is real time. Although it uses Kafka, it is real time. So we use AES also as a backbone infrastructure for charge agent. And we have like definitely our applications are as I told you, like it is inside some region, it's inside some compartment, it's some tenancy, and within that tenancy you have clusters. So what are those clusters? Those clusters are the Kubernetes clusters, and those clusters definitely you know those clusters contains pods, and those pod contains like what is called those pods are like those pod contains containers. Okay, so it starts with container, it goes to a pod might contain multiple container, and it moves over, like it goes for a cluster of applications, and with the cluster it is residing inside some tenancy, it's inside some compartment, it's inside some region. Based on the customer penetration, we actually put it in this order. Okay, so this is the regarding this Kubernetes part I told you. There is a API gateway. Definitely I told you about the compartment to compartment interaction was there. There is a API gateway. There are global load balancer, local load balancers are there. This is for private networking. So okay. Regarding security, I told about IAM. I discussed network isolations, audit policies and controls. That is also there. When you create a compartment, you create a tenancy. That time you create audit policy and controls out there. Okay, we have like operations out there. So this is also very important. This part we handle through application performance management APM, where we set alarms, dashboards, and incident response for that. Okay. Next. Okay, like I told, there are two different ways so there are OCI response APIs, there are hosted agentic applications are there. So you have like for OCI response, you have ready-made MCP calling facilities are there. You have code interpreters, you have file search and vector things are there. So these are like different features OCI provides. And for hosted agentic application, it is you do by yourself. All these things. You create a containers, frameworks, and everything by yourself. And this control networking, storage, identity, you create all these orchestrations and node libraries on your side. And here Oracle provides some of these details to you, so it will make it easy. So generally it is like a hybrid approach people take. So to keep up with this. Okay, regarding this security governance and all things, it's there. Okay, so here I am coming to observability. So this is my last lab. I am coming to observability and telemetry. This is like when AI is taking some decisions, AI is performing some work, we are providing some context to AI to perform that work. we that time take all the traces, all the telemetry informations, what functionality AI invoked, from where it get the context. So all those informations are actually kept, okay, and it looks beautiful. When you see, we use something called application performance management system, and there, if you go to the dashboard, you will see something like this. It starts with some functionality, maybe it starts with this node, this some functionality. It will go some nodes and it will go nodes like this. It will go some nodes and nodes. You will see these traces beautifully out there. You have these nodes that will appear in your OCI. So you go and check. Charge engine started here, and here you see some functionality invoke. Here you see some response came up here, and next it does some database operations, and then after it does again some workflow here. All this you will see visually in application performance management. And when you open every nodes, you will have more than 50 parameters and information available for those. From where, which nodes, which cluster, from which pods the information is getting populated, which functionality got invoked, and all those information will get you can open out from this dashboard. So this is one of the
These
features.
nodes are one machine in every node.
Yeah, these nodes are in machine level also we see. In machine level we have DevOps. In machine level we have DevOps. Okay. And in application level we have like a dashboard kind of a thing. Application level means we have some application, it will do some hundreds of functions, right? It will call hundreds of functions. It will call some functionalities, it will go to database and it will perform some things. So those informations are needed, right, in order to audit that. If you had some problem, you will go and check into that. Yeah, backtracing. Because suppose you have like when it's a real-time hospitals, you will thousands across your country, thousands and millions of charges get posted every time, every day. Okay, some operations are getting posted. So you go and check for that every charge. You go and check what process it went through.
Charges means bill is generated.
Bill is getting generated.
So if bills are being generated, then how these nodes are playing roles? I mean, what is the role of these nodes to generate the bill? Are they accumulating bills?
Yeah, we like I said earlier, when we perform charges, before that we have like a patient came to
There are
hospital.
many layers of
There are many. The patient came to hospital. Patient access happened, right? He did some couple of operations. This node will tell that patient did some operations. These operations did. This is the information that got stored.
Are they all agents? I mean, these nodes are.
No. These nodes are not agents. But we take the information from the nodes. We feed it into the agents.
Okay.
Okay.
They basically
they are like a physical log.
Okay.
You go. Suppose you have a screen input application, right? How do you do that? In simple word, what I mean, you have screen input applications. You have like a controller. You have some couple of functions, right? So you go there and you put some traces out there. At the rate something you give. Okay. Annotations. There are some annotations out there. Okay. On top of that functions. So if this is like these are telemetry annotations. Okay. And this will intersect your request, and it will keep a log of it will relay that log into your APM database. Okay. It's like something which is sitting in your application. Send the information to the remote places, and that information will be organized and shown in this way.
What are the immediate device to these nodes? I mean, are they collecting data from some physical or something like that?
Definitely, it is collecting some physical servers. These applications are say you go and access.
Maybe a regular monitoring is going on.
Yes,
on a
yes.
patient, maybe blood pressure or sugar or something like that.
Yeah.
Is it collecting those kind of data?
No, this is collecting application, not patient. You can go to that level. Okay, I can give you some when some patient comes. Okay, at that time it has some unique identifier, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And those identifier will be requests that will be traveling though with those identifier, the request will go from one step to another steps, right? With that identifier, if you come and open that node, you will see that identifier is there. And you take that, you go to something called lumberjack. Lumberjack is a kind of log system, okay, where you go and put that identifier and you will fetch the details of the patient, log whatever it did or whatever things. What we are employing this because we also want to understand what are the features that is the hospitals is doing more. What are the functionality that hospitals are doing more? That will be business valuable data actually for us. Okay, so that's why it is there. Okay, so these are the telemetry related informations. So actually 20,000 feet above the ground. So I'm sorry to put you in that height because we don't have that much of time to go to the depth. So you see this thing actually depicts this thing actually depicts that user action will create, goes to a charge review open and it goes to agent and it is the agent will perform some retrieval and some tool calling is done, then after review is done. While doing all these operations, what we are right now interested is that we are tracing the healthcare transaction, right? So here we are at individual level, what is the latency it is taking place, okay? Perform the entire thing, what is the latency it is taking place, okay? What latency, what errors, what quality was compromised, what quality was produced and what is the cost? What are the functionality that is input, what is the cost associated with that? Whenever you are in cloud, you will be built onto the bandwidth, okay? So the cost will also get calculated from this dashboard. So this is the next thing. Okay, now we have agent ops. Agent ops means again like whenever you see in few days back we saw that irregular system behavior. Suddenly an agent is hit the servers like 5,000 requests a minute. Okay, so that time we generate logs, alarms. Okay, and we triage different informations and we get that, and it is easy when you have those infrastructure in place, and it will give you you will access those informations and you will triage the problem. Okay, and so here we have more or less set. I think we also do some lot of diagnostic check. We do lot of state diagnostic check and we gather evidence for escalations, why this escalation is happening. Okay, now go to the next slide. Okay, I think I am close to the end. This one is saying like, so you have like healthcare consisting, this picture is giving is like healthcare consists of lot of workflows. Okay, so charge agent, so these workflows can be taken care by individual agents. So, and while these workflows are taken care by individual agents, it also requires human review before the agent performs some recommendations or anything. So, and also we see while agent is running, we have like on the background where it is running on the OCI actually. And there we have the data integration, we have the identity information in IAM, we have network or VPC cloud, we have securities, we have runtime systems in places. OCI will provide you that. Okay, and all these combined things will eventually, when all these workflows and all things is happening, on the background APM is sitting here. It is taking the traces, metrics, logs and availability alarms. We go, if there is some issue happens in any of the systems, we go here and check where is the issue. APM will help us on that. And at the end, it will give a trusted workflow support. That's what it is mentioned out here. Okay. Coming next, the research and curriculum opportunity. Yeah. Okay, so this is like coming to your cases. I wanted to emphasize that software engineering is at a crossroad of, I would say, crossroad of heavy changes. So we are not anymore there where we were 10 years back. Every day it is changing at a faster rate, and even though it is changing faster rate, the optimism is that there are lot of new works are getting created, where we need to use our AI agents and all things. We need to incorporate into the workflows. So that is the kind of work we are right now doing. So I would recommend to learn that how the RAG is working, how the AI agent is developed, how that is how that is working as a system. Actually, the thing that is these things even you can understand from RAG or how to work in like LangChain or this kind of frameworks is already easily available for you guys. You can go and check it out. I will definitely recommend it. First thing is that you need to check it out. But if those informations are readily available, but the thing that is not available is domain informations. Domain information is the most complex information thing is there. When it's healthcare, it's incredibly complex. I am telling you to get the information. When you have the foundation for all this, how to use it, so you will be deployed into some big enterprise, and I think for kids, I would say you will be deployed into big enterprise, and there you will be somebody who have lot of domain knowledge will initially help you out there, and later on you need to take that information and create those wonderful charge agents and different kind of agents that will work in tandem. So we also healthcare consists of like software engineering, data engineering, AI, cloud system, healthcare informatics. So it consists of lot of things together. So I would recommend that you guys should use synthetic records and simulate some workflow to you. Actually, I'm not sure what is your name. What's your name? Razdip. Razdip, I would tell you that you take some synthetic records, okay, and you take some workflows, okay. So you take some. These are the workflows means number of steps you need to perform, and within that step, where you can use agentic AI and you can automate that. That thing something you can do for one thing. That is, if you can do for one thing, it can be done for any other systems. So that thing something I would recommend. And for faculties also, agents is something I would say that it is a go forward directions. I think playing around this will be a great thing. Okay, this is, and there are 5 key takeaway I would say. So there is, whenever you work for healthcare, we have this word is taken is really seriously, accountability. So we have whenever you deploy an agent, you cannot simply make it give access to all. You need to make it accountable. What information supplied, what information output. You treat it as a live operating system that needs to be lively ingested. You build agent with contextual policy evaluation, telemetry and human views. Human review is needed. That's the emphasis out here. You have the like a charge agent as an illustrative pattern, okay, evidence back, and you use like OCI, APM or whatever cloud provider you use. You can use those systems for scalable and diagnosable improvement. Okay, I'm end of my discussion. I would here I would like to ask one thing to you guys. First question. So suppose you make an agent, okay, and where the agent should stop to ask for human judgment. This is a very generic question, but means at what point you feel, means technically what point you feel that this should ask for human judgment, right? So this is something you need to check. What evidence should make you accept or reject? So it is doing some recommendation at the end of the day. So you will check what evidence you need to accept or reject. This is for telemetry. Telemetry should you produce production agent emit by default. What are the telemetry should be defaultly emitted? And I would definitely tell you as part of the new curriculum, I would recommend the faculties here as an in faculty development program. I will tell you that this is where the jobs are getting created, agentic AI. I would tell you that you means if you have some, if you can add this into your curriculum, agentic AI, this is something very important nowadays. So yeah, so all my information here is public safe, whatever publicly available in Oracle Health, disclaimer, Oracle EHR, health clinical AI agents. This is the health revenue cycle, health population health. I follow WHO guidelines for health management, data management, and these are the different sites WHO AI governance for health I have to maintain. So all the information that I shared in this seminar is publicly available information, no code I expect.
So you said that so you encourage hands-on experience, learning of agentic AI, development of agentic.
Exactly. Yeah.
How does it? But again, you know that there are some boundaries of the data. So for the prototypes that you try, that will definitely not work on this kind of thing. Means ultimately in production system. Suppose it's so good that it can be put directly to the production system, that is not possible.
Yes.
So what is the bridge in between? So is it that?
So I would say, suppose some student is working on agentic AI, deploying directly then in the industry to some workflow will be easier. So if they hands-on try by downloading some free modules, okay, Sarvam is probably free. They download that model and they use some LangChain or Llama Index, different frameworks out there, okay, and they build an agent and they just change with some.
Only thing that is going to change is the data set.
Data set.
When it will be put in.
Yes.
But
no, there are a lot of things that you won't be maybe able to access immediately as a student, because cloud is itself is not maybe totally accessible to you. It's free to some extent, but it is not completely free. So when you come to industry, there are a lot of challenges out there. But at least you have the 20,000 feet idea that how this works underlying. That is what I want to tell. Like there are a lot of aspects. Only making an agent is not the only thing. There are how it is deployed, how it is working. There are when an agent is made, this agent is not only does indeterministic work. There are cases where it has to do the deterministic work also. So how those are working, that comes with the domain knowledge. That is something you need to come in industry and here you need to get that information. But at least you have the basic idea how did you implement that in your local system. How do you make an agent and you create a boundary to what extent you have to do. You have an agent ND file, right? There you create the policies. There in your way actually, not in OCI. You have there in the compartment. You go and create the policy and all things. You can create the policy in your local system.
Are there open source extensions of this?
Yes, definitely. Lot of open source frameworks are already available for agent development. We can usually take. We also don't have to take the GPT latest version and all things. There are open source models are also available. Lot of open source models are available. For our simple use cases, we can take those open source models. We can use those open source frameworks. We can use those open source database also. There are open source database also available for vector database for that predictable augmented generations.
There are certain things that there is no, but in context of this particular discussion, so the topic that we discussed for healthcare domain and things like that, if there are there open source extensions on that?
Definitely. Both healthcare data at different level is also open source. To what section you want to work, to that it's not entirely. Healthcare is highly regulated. I totally agree with you.
Because the guardrails and all that apply to another domain is different from the
Exactly. Healthcare is very much regulated, but they are open source to some extent. Suppose you want to check as a use case. Suppose you want to check Like there is a kind, maybe malaria. Okay, malaria is a kind of a disease. Okay, you check that genetical information of thousands of you take different races. Okay, those races informations are also available there. So you have a encrypted MaaS data available out there in internet. You can download those races data. Okay, you go through lot of evidence recommendations, and you check that segregate that based on these are races having higher probability of malaria. Just a simple example I am telling you. So with respect to that, you can get MaaS data. That's what I can tell you. You can get MaaS data. Even genetical information is also available. That is also MaaS. Suppose if I did some DNA testing somewhere, they can decode that DNA information out from me. But that DNA won't be tagged against me. It will be masked as it is an Asian. At most Indian, like that. That's where it is available. We have Human Genome Project. We have open database available right out there for that. So we have a lot of open source data. If you reach it out, I think so Kaggle and all those are there. My dear friend Shibdas actually works, I know very well, on these sections. So there are a lot of open source data also available. So we can get the data to some extent. Not the entire domain knowledge won't be available because the healthcare domain is very much regulated. But for the use case, we can do a lot of things. That's my answer. If you have any questions, we can wrap it up here.
Yeah, I think we are done with the questions. Any other questions?
Participants, if you have any more questions, you may ask.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity for delivering you this talk, and I'm deeply honored here to present here this talk. I hope I didn't bore you. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay, so a very big round of applause. Thank you, sir. We are really grateful to you for giving this talk. I'm sure that the participants will be benefited from this. Okay, now we would like to present you with an appreciation certificate from our side. So for this I call upon the co-coordinator of this FTP, Dr. Monisha Ghosh, to kindly come forward and hand over the appreciation certificate to our eminent speaker of today's session 4 of day 2 of the 6th day Atal FTP. Madam, please. A very big round of applause from the audience. Okay, thank you, madam. Thank you, sir. So once again, thank you, sir, for coming here and giving the talk. Thank you. Okay, now I would request all the participants to come forward to have a group photo along with the eminent speaker, Amarnath Chowdhury sir. So I request her to come forward for a group photo with the participants. All of you please come forward.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Participants are requested to kindly stay back. We'll display the QR code for the feedback of this session.